Hi, I'm Leslie Zemeckis, and we are going to bake Contagion Cupcakes today. Now, I know a lot of people get intimidated when they think baking or cupcakes, but it's actually a lot easier than you think. It's something the whole family can do together. We are going to start with the basic vanilla recipe. Now, I've already got my ovens preheating to 350. Okay, so the first thing for this recipe is I'm going to add a cup of soy milk, and you can use any kind of milk you have in your refrigerator. You can have oat, you can have coconut, you can have cow's milk. We are going to add a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. If you don't have that, you can add, regular white vinegar. Actually, sorry, 2 teaspoons. And then get a whisk if you have it. If not, just a fork or spoon. It's gonna make it kind of curdle, which is what you wanna do, and just set it aside. So that's the first thing you do before anything else. So I'm gonna set that aside. And the next thing is we're going to mix all our dry ingredients. So in a bowl with a sifter and a spoon, you're going to sift your flour, which is super important because it makes it light, makes it much lighter. And I am wearing my Italian shirt in solidarity with our Italian friends and Italy, as we also go on lockdown now. 1.5 cups of flour. So just quickly sift it through the sifter. This is an easier way to do it. And if you absolutely don't have a sifter, it's okay. It'll make it a little thicker. Now we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Now if you don't have cornstarch, which a lot of people don't, just go ahead and add 2 more tablespoons of flour. You can do tapioca, arrowroot, and then we got 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. In another bowl, you're going to mix your soy or whatever kind of milk you used with 1/3 cup of oil. Any kind of oil is fine, vegetable oil. You could use olive oil. I happen to love grapeseed and sunflower oil. See how it's nice and kind of thickens your milk. Then I'm gonna add my oil, sugar, and then this is where you get to be creative. This is where you add your flavoring, your vanilla. You can add lemon extract, you can add real lemon, you can add orange juice. So do 2 teaspoons of whatever it is you're going to do. You can do almond, you can do coconut extract. I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then 1 teaspoon of maple syrup because I feel like it. And then I'm gonna add a bunch of cinnamon. I don't really measure it. I just kind of do it by smell and by look. And then you're gonna mix this together with your flamingo spatula. Okay, and then we are going to mix this with our dry ingredients. So just make sure it's mixed up good. And then you're going to add all this to your dry ingredients. And just add it in, plop, plop. If you have lemons, if you have limes, if you have orange juice, this is where you would add it. Mix it together, make sure you mix it really good. You don't want to get a mouthful of baking soda or baking powder. Check and make sure your oven is warm enough. Mine takes forever. I hate my ovens. And then we are going to put them in the cupcake holders. Now, if you happen to not, when you're out buying toilet paper, get extra cupcake holders, I'm gonna try just spraying the cupcake holder and see how it comes out. And then we're gonna fill the rest up with our, fill them to start about halfway. And again, you wanna bang your pan, excuse me. So while the cupcakes are baking, I'm gonna have another cup of coffee and start prepping the frosting. Now I've set my timer for about 15 minutes. It's very important you don't overcook these. So they cook maybe 20 to 22 minutes depending on your oven. So I set my oven for 15 minutes and then I'm gonna check it every 2 minutes after that to make sure it doesn't overcook, and I'll show you. Okay, so my timer went off for 15 minutes. I'm gonna get a toothpick and let's see. See, you never know. Ooh, it's hot. Okay. Look, it's coming out clean. Ooh, these are done. Okay, I'm whipping them out. So now we're gonna make the icing, frosting. I'm gonna put half a cup of butter, or a substitute for butter, whatever you like. And I'm gonna blend it. This I do use, I use a handheld, old-fashioned beater because they work the best. Beat, looks smooth, it's gonna look smooth like this. Hopefully it won't all come flying out now. And you know, it's only a dozen cupcakes, so I'm not gonna make that much. You could double this recipe if you really want a ton of frosting. So you could use a cup. I'm just gonna use a half, and now I'm gonna add the powdered sugar, 1 3/4 cups, and you're gonna sift it again, just like we did the flour for the cake. So it's not lumpy, but if you don't have a sifter, don't worry, it's still gonna taste good. It might just be lumpy, but you're not entering a contest, you're just trying to get through lockdown. And again, this is where you can get super creative with the flavor. You could add booze, again, although it's not gonna bake out. You could add vanilla, you could add any spice. I'm just going to add, I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm gonna add a little more cinnamon again. And then I'm gonna mix this, and you really need to mix it for a long time. The longer you mix it, the better. I used to mix them, 3 minutes because I would get impatient. But now, if you do between 5 and 7 minutes, it really makes it fluffier and smoother. And then the other thing you're gonna wanna do is add a little bit of milk, whatever kind you wanna do. I'm gonna add soy milk again, about a tablespoon. So I do want to make more, and now this is kind of scandalous, and most bakers and chefs probably would not do this. They would start in a clean pan, but you know what? I'll show you this works. So I'm just going to mix this in. Remember, I have to do the same amount, so I did another half a cube of butter. Just blend it. Remember, you got to blend this all really good, and then I'm going to add another 1 3/4 cups of powdered sugar. See if we can. These come out easy. I only leave them in the pan, till they can cool. Oh, this is gonna come out. Woohoo! So if you don't have a thingamabob, look at this. You can make them easy peasy. You don't even need it. So grab everybody, grab the kids, get a plop of frosting, and just smush it on. Make sure your cupcakes are cooled off though. I happen to have some leftover coconut from a cake I made. So I'm just going to squish that on top on a couple of these. I also have some glitter. Actually, it's leftover from Christmas. Now, the most important thing about baking is you have to try it before you serve it to other people. So I'm going to. I think I'm gonna do the one without a wrapper because I'm so proud of it. Oh my God. Oh yeah, really good. I mean, the frosting is really sweet because I have a lot piled on there. But oh my God, so good. Enjoy.